Today, we will be going over how to use historical trend analysis using courses. As you can see, we have this course opened, and let's explore using the historical trend analysis. The first box at the top represents what we saw on the previous screen in courses, which shows what term we're on in campus, also shows what's offered, which is 2 sections at 60 seats, and what's needed is 1 section at 10 seats. These last 2 columns is the planned and status. Planned is going to be how many sections you are planning to offer based on the recommendations, using a minus or a plus depending on what is needed. In this case, if you wanted to act on the recommendation of this being a reduction candidate, you would simply come over to the minus button, select it, and it will ask you in another screen under the Sections tab on which section you want to remove. The status serves as a workflow tracker that we have different statuses depending on where you are at in the planning stage. In this case, we can see we have evaluate, reviewed, approved, scheduled, or blocked. Depending on their status, so for example, if you were someone who is coming in here to say, okay, I think we should remove a section here, you might come over here to the reviewed, select it, and you might need to pass it on to a dean or a chair to make that decision if you can't make that decision on what to take away. So in this case, we would select the user, add a few comments, like for example, I think we should remove a section, thoughts. And let's say it's going to me. And now I'd click the reviewed status. And then what would happen is if I'm not logged in, I will get notified that there is a notification for me to act on. Let's talk about some of the visuals that you see from the historical trend analysis. The first one, we can see the seats and enrollment over those like terms. So here we can see in spring 21, looks like there was, 45 seats, 45 enrolled. You offered 60 seats. In spring 22, we can see that you had 46 enrolled, but then last spring it dropped to 22. And now we can see, based on the historical trend analysis, we can see that 19 is what we see as what you should offer. The trend is needed. That we'll talk about a little in another video, which uses our predictive analysis or student demand forecasting. As we scroll down, we can also see the different historical terms that we use for that historical trend. As I scroll down, now we start to see some other visuals. So if, let's say, I need to remove a section and I need some information to make the decision on which one I want to do. Let's say I offer a morning and an evening, or 2 mornings, or morning and an afternoon. I need to decide what's going to be the best option. So I can come down here to these visuals. These visuals will kind of go in and tell you, okay, so here, based on the historical analysis, you can see that when it was a day class, 28% was enrolled. However, in the evening, 35%. So I would say, probably based on this visual, I'd probably say that, evening is going to be my best option for this class. So maybe I might remove the day class. As I scroll down, I can also see the seats based on the modality and make that decision on that. As I come down, I can also see the different recommendations based on the different campuses. And down here is our collaboration tool, which allows users the ability to collaborate about the course, but most importantly, keep the conversations in one place. A lot of schools enjoy this spot because it gets them away from the emails and the spreadsheets and the multiple copies of everything, where they can just have the conversation back and forth from within the course and be able to see that history year over year. So based on the information of the different visuals, you now need to decide which section you want to remove. You would then come over to sections, scroll down, and figure out which section you might want to delete. So if I was making a decision, I would see evening. I have the most enrolled, so I can come in here and look to see, okay, well, in this case, we have 19 enrolled already, but this one has 14 for the evening. Okay, maybe I might remove this section. You know, it just kind of depends on what is needed. Thanks for watching our video. This concludes the video on how to use historical trend analysis.